The following program may contain strong language and mature content. Viewer discretion is advised.
Afternoon or good night, because you could be watching this at any time of the day. Is your fave out here duo? We back, y'all. We are back
again.
Okay, back to back. They back stack the M's. Okay, y'all. We are back. You know, we took a break where it was just me and Kaylin without Dwayne, and then it was Dwayne and Kaylin without me. But your fave duo is back, and we are back for the Healthy Him Show. So without further ado, let us thank Pyro Media Network, APLA Health, and CDC for always bringing the Munty Hunty.
Yes.
Bringing your fave duo back to you once again and always. Ding, 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 ding. So how are you feeling, co-host?
I'm feeling real good. Y'all know who it is. Okay, Dwayne Savvy from the Networks program. Okay, had to slide that in there real quick. You could visit us at networks.outhere. That is at networks.outhere. Thank you, Kwame. Okay, because you just put that bar up so fast. All right. But I'm feeling good, friend. I'm feeling real good. It's Tuesday. Okay.
I'm screaming.
And I'm feeling good. The skin is glowing. Okay. The beard is flourishing.
It is.
I mean, what is there really to complain about?
Period.
How are you?
I'm good. It's your boy Ryan D from Healthy Him. As you know, I got my shades on again because last time y'all saw me, I had shades on as well. But I'll take them off for y'all because I was just like, they go with the outfit.
Okay, let us see those beautiful eyelashes. Okay. Ooh.
The light. But yeah, he's giving you a pop of color. We giving you a little pop of color in the back too. So it's giving a little something.
It's a splash. You know, we be switching it up here all the time. We got to keep on your toes.
That part. Okay. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. You know, today is today. We're not going to mention what day it is.
It's Tuesday.
But yeah, okay. Tuesday. What today is?
Tuesday.
But yes, I'm feeling good. I'm going to enjoy myself today and every day. Y'all got my little tea today because I was like, you know, my throat been a little weird. You know, the weather is changing, child. It's getting.
I'll tell y'all the tea later if you know if it allows. Because
what you trying to say?
I'm saying don't sleep with your AC on, bucket naked.
Anyways, as you guys know, I oversee our at-home HIV testing, Swab and Chill, our initiative. And if you want to swab and chill with us, let us know. It can be reached at whenever it appears. There we go. Boom. He's always on it. Kwame is always on it. Okay, so if you want to get a at-home HIV test, you do not want to come to a clinic. You do not want to see nobody. You like, you know what? Let me just do this in my house.
But if you do want to see a beautiful, fine, chocolate black man to prick your finger, yes, come see me. Yes. Okay.
Mm-hmm. But if you also, we also have our Healthy Him checklist, which is essentially you come in, you get HIV testing, STI testing, and then you get PrEP information. Okay, and that's all for $50. Then, if you let us know, I want to get tested with you guys every 3 months. I want to be on your VIP list. We can add you to our VIP list for an additional $25. So that's a total of $75 that you are getting. Okay, and that's one visit. Come on, one visit, $75. Okay. So yes, if you want to do that, let us know. And then as you saw, Kaylin, who was on episodes with both of us at this point.
Shout out to Kaylin because he held it down for us.
Period.
While we was on vacay.
Shout out to Tamar. Period.
Okay.
But yeah, this is what Kelly. This is Kelly and Beyonce.
Yes. Okay. Look.
It's Kelly and Beyonce.
Be dynamic duo. Okay.
Okay.
Look.
That part.
She told y'all she was gonna bump
like this. But yes, Kaylin is linkage to care. So if you are positive, you're like, I don't need to get tested. I know my status. I know what's going on with my health. I just need to find someone, to talk to and care. We have that for you. Kaylin is here to do that, as well as Project Impact, because we gotta shout them out more often because they struggling a little bit. So Project Impact is a program we have here for those who want to, just talk to someone about life and what's going on, but also they offer testing as well, and they offer incentives as well. So yes, if you want to talk to somebody and you just like, I have nobody to talk to, like what's going on in my life, and you just want to talk about cognitive things.
If you want to figure out this gay-ish, hit up Project Impact.
I could not. Yes. So yes, we got to shout out all our programs now because it's a lot going on. A lot of people ain't getting enough attention. So let's do that. So you could call either of us, and we could direct you accordingly to where you need to go. And that's just that on
that. Period. Okay.
So tell them about Prep. What's going on with Prep?
Okay. Well, we got our Prep and Pep services over here. Also by the Networks team. If you want to figure out more about Prep and Pep, you can reach out to us at networks.outhere on Instagram, or you can hit the number right here. You can also hit our Prep website at prepexpress.org. Okay, see there you go, right there. All right.
I cannot. But yes, and PEP, you have 72 hours to get on. It is an exposure to HIV. If you feel like you have been exposed to HIV in the last 72 hours, you need to get on PEP.
Okay, and it's not too late. It's like Plan B. Unfortunately, it isn't just one pill one time like Plan B. No. You do have to take it for a whole 30 days.
Correct.
However, after those 30 days, if you don't seroconvert and everything, you can go back to doing what you was doing when you was doing what you was doing. Okay.
That part.
And even if you do, we'll link you to care. Ain't no thing but a chicken wing, okay? This sexual health stuff is not the end of the world.
It's not, okay? Most things are curable now, so, hey.
Okay.
But yeah, and without further ado, because I know y'all missed it, let's get to our groups! Let's talk about our groups.
I tried last week, y'all. Okay.
You can't imitate, baby. You can't.
You're right. I ain't got that Baltimore accent.
You got the twang.
That's the twang.
It's a twang. Ain't nothing but a chicken wing, the twang. But yes, let's get to our group. So what we do on Tuesdays?
On Tuesdays. Okay, so tonight we have my hip hop class that is from 6:30 to 8 p.m. for all levels, all body types, all shapes and sizes. It's not just limited to men. Anybody can come and we have a good time. We do have a good time, baby, okay? And don't worry if you can't be like, I can't dance. It's okay. It's all right. We are going to work. Well, I'm going to work with you. Everybody in the class is very supportive of one another. And we just be there to have fun. It ain't really about trying to become like a professional dancer or some Janet Jackson. What have you done for me lately? Okay. But it's more about really just the energy and having some fun cardio going on.
Okay.
So tell us about Thursday.
We love that. So Thursday, the CEO here. We have our BQT, our Black Queer Talk. So we talk about sex, love, relationships, and again, all the things in between. And in between, in our last BQT, we talked about the 3 T's. We talked about traumas, toxicity, and triggers. Okay, we talked about those 3 things, and it got a little heated. People got in their feels. We did an exercise where people got to, write to their younger self. And we do a lot of different things. Like, it's not always about, sex. We like to talk about that stuff, love and all. But sometimes we got to talk about the traumas that get us to where we are as Black queer men. And that's why we also have this show and this platform to talk about the different things that go on in society. Of course, we talk about sexual health because that's what we're here for initially. But there's so much going on in our community that we need to discuss. Okay? And that's just that on that. So without further ado, we hope we see you either on Tuesday or Thursday or both. So, hey.
Come through tonight.
Okay.
If you got time. Okay, look. I know the show ends at 5:30, but that means you got an hour to get here.
Can we talk about our nails real quick? Let's get to our nails. Put your nails up. We got our nails done. I mean,
mine are like they're clear, so you can't really see anyone.
But they're still done.
But it's giving.
But it's still done.
It's giving.
Yes, and I got my little black.
Oh, okay. You see these cuticles? You see them? You see it?
What they call them, the dick grabbers?
Somebody told me it was grippers.
Oh, really?
Okay,
well.
Because you grip. I don't know.
Oh, well. Without further ado, let's get to the topic today. Come on. Y'all, age ain't nothing but a number. Aaliyah said it. I mean, R. Kelly wrote it. But Aaliyah said it, and that's who. Rest in peace to my mama.
Okay? You know, she was talking to her man when she was singing it anyway, who was also
you're right. But yes, AJ nothing but a number, y'all. We gonna talk about it, okay? Mm-hmm. So
yeah, let's talk about it because
He said my tea literally. So first off,
it smelled like coffee.
It do. I don't like that. It's not coffee, y'all. It's tea. I don't drink coffee. But I think that it don't matter. Nevertheless, age ain't nothing but a number. So we're talking about ageism today, y'all. Ageism is a topic that we do not discuss enough in the Black queer community. So we're going to get into it today.
Because we're going to stop discriminating against our older uncles and aunties.
Okay. Why we so alike? Y'all, we so alike. I don't like it. But yeah, ageism. What is ageism? Let's talk about what ageism is. So, ageism is the prejudice or discrimination of someone based on their age. That's simply what it is. Mm-hmm. And that's that.
Be it younger or older.
That part. So, some people be like, oh, you're too old. Or, oh, you're a baby. You're what, 24? You're a baby. Like, what? I am grown. If you tell me I am a baby because I'm 24 or 25 years old, I'm like, maybe to you. How did meme go? How did thing go? To you. Okay, but darling, I am grown. I have not lived life, maybe not as long as you have, but I have lived enough that you don't know what I have been through to get me to where I'm at. And I feel like personally, me, I'm an old soul. So when you tell me I'm young, I'd be like, what? And I always had this thing about trying to grow up so fast. So when I finally got to the age that I wanted to be, which is coming up in the next month, I'm just like, I'm stopping there. Like, I'm never going to be like, I'm older than this. Because I'm just like, no, I'm this. So I'm going to be 38 talking about 25. Okay.
I mean, we could do it. We Black.
I mean, yeah, Black don't crack. It really don't.
Unless you smoke it.
That's true. That is very true. So how do we feel the ageism affects the Black community versus the Black queer community?
Well, I would think honestly in the Black queer community, it's usually when we speak about ageism, it's usually pertaining to like the older generation. Okay, so taking accountability, being a part of the younger generation. I'm not going to put my whole age out here like that because y'all need to know that whatever age I am is the age that I am. Okay. If you think I'm older or younger, I'll be that. That's okay. But yeah, it's usually pertaining to like the older generation and taking accountability first for the younger generation that I am a part of. I ain't going to say no age, but I'm under 30.
Gosh. Lord.
I think that we don't really take into consideration that the older generation does not have the same liberties that we do today. They did not grow up in a sexually liberated time. They did not grow up in a time where gay was okay. They also grew up closer to the time where like the HIV epidemic was like, ooh, it was killing everybody, So like there's and they were always advertising HIV as like the gay disease. Mm-hmm. And there's just so many other like stigmas and things and such to where the older generation never really got to fully live their gay life,
That is true.
And so now that we're, out here in things and such, out here, okay. And now it is okay, and now they can be out. Now there are spaces for not only like for gay people, but Black gay people at that. Like they want to partake too. They want to partay. They want to shake a little booty. They want to slang some dick. Okay, and then there's nothing wrong with that. But what about you, Fran? Like, how does ageism, do you think, affect the Black community versus the Black queer community?
I feel like it is a double standard. And I said it. Shoot the message. I don't give a fuck. Say no. But don't shoot me. Please don't. Oh, yeah, I'm getting better, though. We got a warning sign. It's okay. I don't do as much. But I do got to work on that, though. But anyway, I feel like it's a double standard because when it comes to the just hetero Black community, that's what we mean when we say Black community, the strict hetero side of it. The hetero side is very like, oh, why is that older man dealing with this younger girl? But when it's an older woman, she's looked at differently by like maybe her peers, her female peers, but like males don't care. Males are like, oh, you got an older woman? Yeah, that's what's up. Like, yeah, I see you, son. Like, okay. But then on our side, on the queer side, I feel like when it's a older man with a younger man, it's not as looked down upon, or it's like, we don't like that, but y'all do what y'all do, like kind of situation. And a lot of people will have their opinions because it's all like you're already gay, but like now y'all have a huge age gap. So it's kind of like we're looking at you real sus, but at the same time, they don't voice, I feel like, as much as they do when it comes to hetero people. Because like when there's an older man with a woman, it's all hell broke loose. It's like, why are you doing this? This is rape. This is disgusting. I'm posting this everywhere. Da, 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 da. But when you see an older gay man with a younger gay man, it's like, oh, that's not cute, but whatever. Like, it is what it is. Or same thing with like females, queer women. It's like, oh, like, I guess the age gap, that's kind of weird, but whatever. A lot of people will always just say it's weird or something's wrong with it, but no one will ever actually voice it and stand up for it not happening. As opposed to, I feel like in the heteronormative, just my opinion, where it's like an older man is with a younger woman. It's like, we're voicing our opinion. We got to stop this. It's not happening. It's not cute. It's not da-da-da. For me, da-da-da. Yes, exactly. For me, I do not really, I think there's a certain limit, in my opinion, that should have a gap. Because after a while, it's looking
the limit,
real.
Friend? What's the limit?
For me,
for you,
I do not believe personally anyone above, I would say, 12 to 13 years older than you. For me, one,
to
because
date or to have sex.
To date.
Okay.
To have sex, that's your discretion, sweetie, because you could be doing it for various reasons, and all the old men got money. So if you're just doing it for money, do your thing.
Not all older men.
Not all of them do.
They should,
but usually
they don't.
The sugar daddies, they be the older ones. So you gotta go, and we support sex workers.
Not in my experience.
Oh my gosh. We support sex workers. So look, do your thing. If you got to go to the older men and get what you want, do what you want, okay? But in my opinion,
it's giving you what you got to get what you want. But we not.
Come on, Fantasia Barrino.
Okay, my name is Fantasia Barrino.
I could die. But yes, so I just feel like, yes, it's a good gap. And I feel like with that age frame, you're not old enough to have kids yet. Like your sperm hasn't really got there. Your eggs hasn't fully developed yet, really. So you're not old enough to be my father or anything. So it's like, okay. Because I've dated someone who was 11 to 12 years older than me. And yeah, it was a good dynamic. Like it's like maybe like an older brother.
Can be me, child.
It may be like an older brother situation. But in the same situation, it's not like he could be your father. Because that's sweet. When they could be old enough to be your father or older than your actual parents, then we need to talk.
Girl, okay.
That's my opinion. If you're dating them, if you're having sex, baby, do your thing. But if you just, dating, and you like, I really want to be with this person, I don't think they should be older than your parents. Or old enough to be your parents.
So you just hit the brink, huh? Just hit the edge of it?
No, because I feel like 12, 13, you're not nowhere near being my parent.
Really?
I mean, right? Well, me personally, my situation is different, but I still feel like I date people younger than my mother. My mother's only 14 years older than me. So she had me at 14. It makes sense, but that's a whole different situation. But I feel like I still date people younger than 14 years older than me. I'd be like, okay, well, you gotta stop. I mean,
it's a big ass pool of people.
You gotta stop at this limit. So my age bracket of dating is between 25 to 33. Okay, if you were in that age range, holla at your boy. But if you are not, I'm sorry. Look, if you're younger than 25, I can't speak to you. I can't. I'm sorry. I don't deal with children. And if you're older than 33, I'm sorry. You're pushing my mother's age. I can't.
Let's get into it. Because we just talked about how people would discriminate against you for being tween mud truck and foe, ready to mud truck and go.
You're right. And I'm displaying ageism right now, y'all. And that's that. That's called preference sometimes. So what's the difference between preference and ageism?
Oh, I mean, for me, honestly.
Pull up one up.
Honestly, preference for me, because I am a little ageist. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, I'm not gonna discriminate. Excuse me, I'm gassy. I'm not gonna discriminate always against somebody living their best life, doing what they do. However, I do think it's the spray. I do think it's weird that if you are like 40, 50, 60, and you are hitting on somebody who is obviously freshly 21 or even younger, and like, I don't know, that's something about that just don't sit right with me, because it's just kind of like, now you remember where you were at like 18, 19, 20, 21. You thought you knew everything, you thought you experienced life, hell, I'm at the age that I am where I thought I'm still learning things. I'd be like, oh,
you learn every day, y'all.
Right, exactly. So
you die.
with that being said, it's just like, how do you like? What are y'all? First of all, what do you think you're going to talk about with this young person? Okay, like what are you going to have in common?
That part.
What is really drawing you to them? Like, and then it's just it's giving narcissism, and I'm not into that. It's giving manipulation. It's giving gaslight. It's giving I'm going to manipulate you in a way to where you think I'm being helpful, but really I got you. I put a spell on you, and now you're mine. But yeah, that's just why I don't do that now. Sex is something different, okay? Because I've had sex with all different ethnicities, ages, you name it, okay? Hey, because I believe maybe sometimes they could teach you something. They teach them, but ain't nobody tell me nothing yet.
No, them older ones be knowing though. Them older ones know how to make you feel good. Okay, and that's why age ain't nothing but a number. Okay, hello.
I mean, they feed me after, so that's cool.
Exactly. They feed you. They get you rides. They look after you.
Oh, I ain't never needed none of that.
They pull up on you. They drive you when you need to go. All of that. I've had those experiences. I've been chauffeured. All the things.
I see, and that is why I also say this. Like, I am very, I am very self-sufficient. So if you're not offering something that I'm already not providing for myself, then you're not. What are you here for?
Okay, well, do you feel the same way about older people who hang out and befriend younger people?
Okay, so befriending and hanging out with younger people, that's different, because I feel like sometimes older people see a lot of themselves in younger people.
That's true.
But also, just because you're older does not mean your maturity level is
that part
is at the age that you are.
It's a lot of 35-year-olds who are actually 15.
Right, exactly. Exactly. And that goes back to what I was saying in the beginning. Like, they didn't really get to live their life how they wanted to live their life. So now they live in it, and they have they want friends who are going to keep up with them, who have the same interests. And sometimes it doesn't matter what your age is, because sometimes the interests are the same. Like, if your interest is clubbing, going to bars and going to events and, being social, then, obviously you're going to want a friend who's going to want to do that. Now, regardless of if that friend is 21, 22 or 31, 42, if the interests are the same, I feel like you can be able to hang out with somebody. And then also, like, I think that's beneficial to the younger person, but also to the older person as well, because the younger person can learn how to navigate life, maybe learn how to get some more money, maybe learn how to invest, property, all of those things. That's and then the younger person can teach the older person what accountability is, what boundaries are, effective communication, et cetera, et cetera. But both parties have to be open to learning from one another. But what do you think? Do you feel the same way about like older people who hang out and befriend younger people? Like, what do you think about that?
I do slightly. I mean, again, they do see themselves in them. Like, for me, I actually don't hang out with young people. I've always hung out with older people, but I feel like the older people I hung out with always said like, "Oh, you're so mature for your age, and we can like take you out with us."
And do that be intentional? Because no shade, like all my friends are older too, and I'm just like, that was not intentional for me. That was just the people that gravitated to me, and I gravitated to. And then later, I have found out that they were in their 30s or late 20s, or even in mid-30s. Okay, like that is crazy. But and then they hear my age and they be like, "What?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, good."
No, yeah, I remember when I was like 19 to 21, I was always with the 25 to 27-year-olds, and they were like, "Oh, you're so mature for your age. I thought you were like our age." And I was like, "Child, no, I'm young. Like y'all can have that. Like I'm not." But for me now, I never hung out with older people. I mean, younger people. I always hung out with older people.
I mean, I've had some younger friends, but they don't usually stick around because we don't have the same goals. We don't have the same mindset and mentality. Like I'm not out. I'm not trying to be out here in these streets. I mean, I was when I was younger, and it just doesn't interest me anymore.
It's different. It's funny because I'm sorry, cut you off. Go ahead.
I mean, and I was just gonna say, and this is my last statement. Even when I was younger, like even though I was out, running the streets, running amok, okay, if you will, the mindset was still very much older. The mindset was still, what can you do for me? Because I know I'm the table. Like been the table since before the table was fully built. Okay,
come on.
So yeah, that's why I'm just like a lot of young people, they don't have that wherewithal, they don't have that confidence, they don't have that mindset, they don't have a lot.
Everything comes with age and maturity. And that's why I say, like, I'm an old soul. I was raised by my great-great-grandparents, literally. So I feel like sometimes I was born in 1953, but then a part of me is like, I still was born, in the 90s. So, but me, when I see someone younger, especially like baby gays, I'd be like, oh, like I always see myself in some of the baby gays. Even today, like when I see them, I'd be like, oh my gosh, like I remember when I was like this, just like you. Like I have that
like
moment.
What? Do it again.
Like this, like
come on, lady.
But my thing is, I could never really go out with them and do anything. Like I feel like you can't go out and drink with me. We have nothing to like discuss or do, like,
I don't totally agree with that.
But for me, even then, even if you can, you're like 21, 22, 23, blah, 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 I still feel like, where do we relate? Because I am at a different stage in my life. I am reaching the back end of my 20s. And don't do that.
You just got to the middle.
Don't do that.
You ain't even at the middle yet.
Why you put my tea out? Put your tea out.
You literally said it earlier in the show.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I mean, I did, but you didn't have to do it.
Oh,
anyway, regardless, I am at the middle to end of my 20s, which is taking me at a different part compared to someone who is beginning their 20s, is what I'm ultimately saying. Okay. So it's someone who is beginning, 19, 20, 21. It's like, you're going to be in a different mind space. Oh you're going to be in like, oh, I can finally go out and drink. I can finally turn up. I can finally like, yeah, you're going to be like, oh, I'm free type of vibe, like that college vibe. And I'm way past that. So I'm more like, I graduated college.
Yeah, he old, y'all. He literally go to work and go home.
Child, don't leave me.
I tried to take him out the other day, and he was like,
wow, it's up.
I don't know.
Anyway.
It was another Taco Tuesday.
Oh my gosh. Anyways. I just don't really, see where we could correlate. So I always gravitate to older people, and I get it. But then I'm at this point where it's like older people are like that. Like he said, like, oh, I want to go in the house. I don't want to go out. I'm like, no, I need to be out. I need to be out, but I don't want to be too much out. So like, I'm definitely in the middle of that. Mm-hmm. But what I'm trying to figure out is, where did ageism stem from? Like, where do you feel like it stemmed from? Because I'm like, where did this come from? Why do people, what's going on?
I think it honestly stems from your parents, I feel like that's where it kind of stems from, like everything else that you learn. Like it kind of stems from your upbringing. But also like, okay, if you grow up and you see like your parents are, younger, then you might gravitate towards like a younger spirit or somebody who kind of like relates like that. Versus like if you grew up with somebody who is older, you might gravitate to somebody who is, a little bit more mature and things like that and has a different mindset.
That's true.
However, that doesn't really answer the question. I honestly don't know, if I can be honest, where ageism stems from. Like, I don't know where people get this idea that if you're older, you must be wiser, you must be mature, you must have your stuff together. Like, what?
Okay, so what discriminations have you witnessed, like, as far as ageism, based on your age? If you don't want to give it out, just let people know.
I'm not giving my age, child. If you want my age, come get an HIV test with me, okay? How about that?
Child, I might be like, I should tell them since you put my business out there now. But
you put your own business out there, baby. Okay.
It's been out there for a long time. I told people at the beginning anyway. But
look at that. The earrings is dangling.
It is. You're right.
Stupid. But honestly, I don't really witness discriminations until people find out my age,
Right.
Because I speak so eloquently, and I do think, and I don't give unsolicited advice or conversation. I speak when I'm spoken to. If you ask me a question, I will answer it. But other than that, like, I'm not going out of a way to assert my opinion. So I don't really get any discriminations until people find out my age. And you're like, oh, you're a baby. Oh my God. Like, whoopsie wop. And then after they find out my age, it's like all of a sudden the energy shifts. And then like they don't really take what I say like too hard, even though I be dropping gems on them. People project a lot. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like sometimes when I'm giving some actual solid advice to my older friends and counterparts, they will disregard it, regardless of if they know it's what they should do, just because they don't really want to do the right thing, like, and I'm sure we've all been in that place where it's like, we don't want to do what we know is right. And so even if somebody is telling us what the right thing is to do, we're going to find any and everything to kind of like poke holes in the validity of that. And so I feel like that is one of the discriminations that I have gotten related to like ageism. On top of like my fitness and body type and shape.
Really? How's that relative to your age?
It isn't. But the girls be like, "Oh, you're at this age. I remember when I was this age. I was that size too." And da 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 da. And I'm like, "Well, girl, you still could be, but we stopped doing the things, the activities, and the things that kept us where we wanted to be when we were once that age." And I know body aches and things, but baby, excuses. Stretch, roll out.
Come on.
Take them baths.
Come on.
Okay, saunas.
Come on.
Like, do what you got to do to take care of you. Like, I think you said this the other day. It's like taking care of your body's like taking care of your car. You get that oil change, you rotate them tires, maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
Maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
It has like as we go on, we have to do different things and we have to figure that out. And I don't feel like you should be like looking at me like, oh, because I'm young, this is the reason. It denounces all of the hard work that I put in while I'm young to continue to maintain all of this.
That's true. And it's all a journey for everybody at the end of the day. So everybody's journey is not going to be the same. And for me, I feel like I've always got people tell me like you said, like, oh, I did this when I was your age, or I've been your age, so I know what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And even when I was with my ex, who was like 12 years older than me, it was always like, I've been there, so I already know what you're going to do. And it's like, you don't know me. We have two different lives, two different paths. Like, you grew up a DL individual. I never had to come out ever. Like, I didn't have that experience. And that's something we talked about in BQT recently. Like, what is the experience that you haven't had that other Black queer men have? And for me, I've never had to come out. Like, my family is mostly gay. And everybody just saw, I was like, oh, he's gay too, cool. Like, it was never like, oh, I'm going to get kicked out. I'm going to have this issue. I'm going to have this. I don't have that experience. And I know a lot of people do have that experience. So, like, for me, my heart aches for those who do experience that. But, like, my path was different from other people. So when someone says, like, you haven't experienced this and you don't know this and that and that and that, and it's hard to like educate me. And it's like, I appreciate the wisdom, I appreciate the education and, trying to be there for me. But sometimes also, you got to let us make our own mistakes.
Yeah, and that's another thing. That's what I was going to add to my 2 cents, because I mentioned that in BQT as well. Like, the older generation, like sometimes they're a little overprotective and it comes off as overbearing, and it's like, okay, that could happen, but it could also not happen. And I feel like it is a little bit rude of you to deny me my life experience.
Right.
If I want it.
Mm-hmm. I feel like we all need to make the mistakes that we need to learn. And it's like, even if it's the same mistake you made, fine. If you want to have your I told you so moment later on, that's okay.
That's okay.
But let us know that we learned.
That is when you can have that moment of, I know where this was going, or I saw it coming.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like at the end of the day, yes, warn us, be like, hey, I don't think that is the best idea. It could end up like this. And then allow us to make the informed decision from there. Don't just let us go in blind, obviously, but don't try to over assert your choice.
Exactly. It's just having the right process of being like, I'm going to let you figure this out. Because when I have a child, I'm going to let them figure out their situations.
Oh,
like, if they need me, I'm going to be there to give them the advice they need. But once they learn their lesson, I'll be there to console them. Because I'll be like, look, I've been there. I already know.
I do that with my friends now. So I'll be looking at everybody like,
I've been there.
Okay.
But I'm going to let you go through this and have your time and your lesson. This is your lesson. This is not my lesson. I've been there. I'm going to be like, this is your lesson. And once you get this lesson, I'll be here to console you. But other than that, I have nothing else to say.
I'm going to be here to help you fix it.
And that's that on that. But without further ado, we are about to get into commercial, guys. And we'll be right back right after this.
Are you in need of a quick and easy way to know your HIV status? Swab and Chill is a discreet way to learn your status in the comfort of your own home. The process gives you results in 20 minutes. Swab the upper gums, swab the lower gums, and voila! Simply follow the colorful step-by-step instructions located inside the kit. Or call APLA and we can assist you virtually. In addition, all kits include condoms and lube for that penetrative fun. For our trans clients, we have Swab and Chill Plus, a customizable kit for trans-specific needs. And we haven't forgotten about COVID either. All kits include personal protection gear, like face masks, comfortable yet stylish. A personal touch tool for dealing with those germ-infested handles and ATM keypads. Wet wipes for those little messes that need cleaning up. Also, keep that summer body protected with Swab and Chill sunscreen. And don't forget about our fanny packs for those quick trips to the store. All this can be yours. Simply call Swab and Chill at 323-329-9713 or email us at swabandchill@apla.org. We would love for you to be part of our Swab and Chill family.
Come swab and chill with us!
And we is back. We is back. Get into the topic. Did y'all get the topic? Age ain't nothing but a number, okay? Like we said, R. Kelly may have wrote it, but Aaliyah said it, okay? And it's about her and only her.
I feel like this lighting is flushing us out. I don't like that.
It is a little bit, but at the end of the day, you get the point. It's the chocolate duo, okay? We chocolate, so we need good lighting, okay? We need to be, we need to be seen. We need to be viewed. Okay. We need to be lit. We need to be seen, viewed, and lit. Okay, in all perfect ways. Now,
the mic job.
Let's get into our next little shindig.
Yes. Okay, so I'll kick it off. So, Ryan D.
That's me. Don't wear it out.
Maybe. How do you feel ageism and Black trauma coexist when dating in the Black queer community?
Trauma and ageism. How do they coexist when dating? I feel like...
Do they coexist?
That's a good question. I feel like they do. I feel like they do. They do. A lot of people have daddy issues. I'm one of those people. Was that a point?
It was. What you
I admitted it. I already admitted it, though. So, but anyway, yes, I got little daddy issues, but I admit that and I own that. I have been attracted to older men.
Accused Tia Marie. I had no daddy around when I was growing up. That's why I'm out of them. Y'all think
I have a thing with older men. I've always been attracted to older men, older Black men only because I don't particularly date outside my race. But I've always had a thing for older Black men. They appeal me more. I attract them as well. I'm like, that little ting that they be like, ooh, what's up? Like, I'll be like, boy style. How old is you? You 35? Okay, come here. But my thing is, it comes from the trauma of not having a father or having a older Black man to look up to, in a sense. With me, it's not like, I want him to like make me his son or anything. That's a whole different type of play. I'm not into that. But it's just the idea of having a older Black man to love and to be loved by, even though it's in a more intimate way. It's a good feeling, and that's something that I personally can say I've experienced, and that's my trauma / ageism situation. But I feel like with other people, it could be like with guys who like older women, like it could be a mommy issues. They got mommy issues. They like.
There's women. A lot of cishet Black men with mommy issues.
They do, and that what comes within like, okay, I didn't have a mother growing up, or I didn't have a good relationship with my mother, and then the cougars be ready. They be like, so they be ready. So cougars be ready. So they love them some young men, especially in the bedroom. Okay. So, but with the Black queer portion
of it, we don't
like
limp noodles.
Okay. With the Black queer portion of it, I believe, as I said, daddy issues with that, and then a lot of older guys, I feel like they didn't really get a lot of experience being gay growing up, so they like to live vicariously through their younger partner. They want to, look young and, wear the latest fashions at Zara and all the stuff that we be wearing nowadays.
Wearing shit that don't fit.
Exactly. They be 40 years old trying to look like they're 25. And it's like, sir, stop. And then they try to go out to the places that we go out to. And
you don't just put on them goddamn culottes, boy.
It's like they're not ready to grow up. And we call that the Peter Pan syndrome. That is actually a thing. Look it up, y'all. Peter Pan syndrome. I want to be a young boy forever. Like, I want to be in Neverland forever. He wants to be a little boy forever. So they never want to grow up. They always want to date these younger people because it's like, oh, if I date this younger person, it's going to make me feel young. And if it makes me feel young, it's like I never have to grow up. I could just be silly and be young with them, and they don't ever have to acknowledge my age. But it's like, at the end of the day, sir, I'm going to see you when you get in, that casket, because it's probably going to be for me. So just make sure you put me in your will. But anyway,
well, for the older men watching, we see where Ryan's head is at. Now, if you want somebody who's going to love you,
love. I can love you too,
and invest in you.
Who said I can't love?
Call me.
I can love.
Call me.
Anyway, I didn't have that idea when I was dating my older ex. Okay, it's all about love. I literally stayed with him for love because everything else was trash, and he could tell you that. But anyway, at the end of the day, I just feel like those are what the traumas are for the Black queer community. It's a double situation. Like, the younger one is like, oh, I have daddy issues. This older man's looking after me. Then the older one is like, dang, they make me feel young, and I'm gonna be young forever, so let me be with them. And yeah, or sometimes they just don't care, and they like, oh, you over 18, so I don't care. And I just be like, whoa, that's kind of weird, but everybody has a preference, and people just like to feel how they feel and love who they love. But we say age ain't nothing but a number. It is, but it's not. So when I say that, it's like age ain't nothing but a number, but at the same time, there is a limit to that number. As I said before, 12 to 13 years for me is like, okay, wait a second. Now you pushing. But hey, you do your thing. Everybody gonna do what they want to do. And with that, can we get the photos in here, please? Please, Kwame, bring the photos in. So we got some examples of some Black queer relationships that we see. Let's start with this.
Woo! Jesus!
Yes. This couple is about 40 years apart. They are 40 years in age apart. I believe the older one, from what I remember, is about 60 something, and the other one is about, I want to say, 20 or 30 something. Yeah, they have been together for a good amount of time now. I think since the other one was about 17, 18 years old, which was very strange to me when I heard that.
Literally, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he was 36 or 39, the one who was obviously older.
Yes.
And he was 17 going on 18 when they first started
that
dating.
part. And with what I just said, a lot of the older people, they have this thing about grooming their younger partner. They want to groom them to be the man that they want them to be. And with that, that's kind of toxic, but that's what also happens within the age gap in the Black queer community. It's like, I want to be with this person because although they make me feel young, I can also groom them to be what I want them to be in the future when we're together.
I feel like it's more like, I can be for them what I wish I would have had when I was younger. Mm-hmm. But it's like, who's to say that they want that?
That part. They're clearly madly in love. Huge age gap, but madly in love. And I think they're actually married now. Mm-hmm. But they've been together for a while. So hey, at this point, it's like that man is his father because he basically raised him.
That could be his granddaddy child.
That part, I don't know. But he raised him from 17 up until now. So it's like, bro, I've been with you since I was 17, and I'm damn near about to be 30, 40 something soon. It's gonna be you raised me. You're my dad. You're not my dad. Oh, you want to hear something? But yeah, it's he basically raised him, and it's very strange to me. But at the same time, love is love. Age ain't nothing but a number, so we say. But yeah, can we see the next one, please?
I need a psychology study on that.
That's true. It's a thing. Now, most people may know this couple. I don't know. This is Octavius. I can't think of his last name right now. I was about to say Spencer, but that's a whole woman.
Yeah, that's Octavia.
Yeah. But this is Octavius. He's a fashion designer here in Los Angeles, and he used to be with Jamal Sims. I used to love them. They were my favorite couple ever. They had got divorced, and they're no longer together. This is his new fiance, the younger person. I believe they are about... I believe they are about, I want to say at least 15 years apart or so.
I'm into it.
They're both very handsome, yes, but it's very apparent who is older. And I just feel like, I don't know. Like, he looks like his older, like, brother or uncle.
Yeah, definitely giving uncle.
It's giving like, this is my uncle. I'm with my uncle, y'all. Like, I'm in my uncle, like, wherever we are.
Hey, if the body's bodying, that's fine.
Yeah, but they're literally engaged now. Like, them two are engaged. They got engaged recently. After he just divorced Jamal, but child, none of my business. But yeah,
mind your business.
It's a huge age gap, and I love Octavius. I just feel like he could have found someone closer to his age, like Jamal was. It's like he left Jamal and then just went like, whoop, let me go down into the kid pond and pick up some babies and that kind of situation.
But why? He's not a kid.
He's not a kid, but to him, I feel like the age gap. You
don't know what that man got. He might be more successful than Octavius here. For all we know.
He's not.
How do you know?
Confirm that. I go to his Instagram. I will make sure you see that. Okay. He's like a regular man. But yeah, they in love, child. They in love. And I guess that's all that matters at the end of the day, that you love the person and you are not caring about what society thinks. I think that's a huge thing that's difficult to get through as Black queer men, like always caring about what society thinks, because one, we're Black, one, we're queer, and now we're dating someone who's a drastic age than us. So
and
it's
you got
younger
people
or
in the
older.
community like Ryan that's going to judge you for getting out of your relationship
No!
and getting married to the next man. And not only getting married to the next man fast, but he younger at that. You know, all I'm going to say is, look, if you... No. But yes, because if that's what you wanted to... If he makes you happy, if they make each other happy, and... I mean, hey, like I said, this could be mutually beneficial, like I said earlier, Octavius could be teaching him about, like, the business side of things and fashion and how to build his own brand and things like that. And then we don't know what this young man has to offer.
He's not doing anything with fashion. I'll tell you that right now.
You have no idea about this man. All of these are based off of assumptions of his social media.
Yes, social media tells everything. Octavius is posting 24/7 about all the things he's doing for celebrities and what he's making and creations. But that's not even here nor there. We're not talking about careers. Careers is a different thing. I'm genuinely talking about, one, I'm not fully judging the fact that they're together. It's more so the fact that you're with this person so quickly, but like you're with this person quickly and you went to a like a whole different change of age. But again, love is love. As I said, you can love whoever you want to love.
A decade younger.
Yes, exactly. But I'm also just kind of biased because I really did love him and Jamal, and I met both of them and took a picture with both of them, and I kind of really wanted them to last forever.
Exactly.
They were my goals. Y'all, I had pictures of them since I was like 18. So that may be my little bias. But at the same time, I do feel a way about this. I'm like, I support it. Love is love. Do your thing. But at the same time, why you cut my name a little closer? But nevertheless, can we get to the next one now? Please comment. Now, these are our queer Black women. We got to shout out our Black women as well. Okay. We do talk about lesbians, okay. We talk about our Black queer men all the time. This is a Black queer men show, but we gotta acknowledge our Black queer women as well. Yes. So I do not remember who is older.
The femmes don't get no love. Okay, so let's. I mean, who do you think is older? Because I remember. So out of this picture, who do you feel like is older?
When I first saw it, I was like, oh, it's probably the dark skinned woman. But now I'm looking like maybe it's a light skinned woman.
Okay. Kwame from the back, comment below. What do you think? Like, who do you think is older? Do you think it is the fair skinned woman, or do you think it is the more chocolatey lady?
The world may never know. So no, but you remember.
Come on, Tootsie Roll.
We did look it up though.
And Kwame said the chocolate one. Okay, so you said at first you thought the chocolate one too, and then you thought the light skinned one. Now looking at this, Kwame just said it's the chocolate one. So are you ready? Can I get a drum roll, please? Don't bang too hard. It is the chocolate one. The chocolate one is actually older.
I can see that actually because the gray hairs too. Yeah.
Now
I see it. But I love it. It reminds me of kind of like we don't talk about white people in the show as much, but Sarah Paulson and her wife, huge age gap. Sarah Paulson.
Who?
Anyway,
I don't know her.
Anyway, don't do her. I love Sarah Paulson.
Who?
If you watch AHS, you know. But they have a huge age gap as well, but we're not talking about white people. We're talking about these people. So, our people. But yes, they have a age gap of, do you remember the years? I think it's about at least maybe like 20 to 30 years. If I'm not mistaken.
It might not be that large. But
really?
Yeah, I think it's either 20 or like between 20 and 15.
Yeah, about around there. Yeah. They have an age gap about 15 to 20, and they've been together. I can't remember how long, but they've been together for a little minute. I do remember that much because I was like, dang, that's a long time when I was reading about them. But yes, for our women, I feel like because they look like two grandmas. They look like two grandmas, and if I saw them, I would be okay. And I remember I actually had two grandmas a long time ago, like a really long time ago. But it was like an interracial situation. But yeah, like one of my grandmas, I told y'all like 95% of my family is gay. So I never had to come out. One of my grandmothers was like with a partner, and one of my aunt's grandmothers, it was a situation, it was weird. But yeah, she's with a partner and he was white, but it was like you could tell who was older. But nevertheless, they're like two grandmas. And if I saw them, I was like, oh, grandma, 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 hey grandma, hey grandma. So I like this. I support this. I love it. I don't feel like it's as obvious. And I think that's my thing. I think that might be my thing, my little hang up. I may have a hang up, you guys. That's my hang up.
You might. He might, y'all.
Don't do me. So I potentially have a hang up, yes. I think when it's blatantly obvious that there's an age gap, then it looks different to me. And I think that's how it was because of me and my ex. It was like he looked younger than what he was, so it worked. Because it was like, oh, he like 25, 26, 27. And I was like 21. So it was like, it's not huge. But the whole time this man was like 32 and I was 19. So hey. But it worked for us as long as it did. So yeah. I think I like this. I support this. I'm here for it. I support all Black queer love at the end of the day.
Period. Not all of them. Not the second one.
What?
Not Octavius and them, obviously.
I do support. I said love is love at the end of the day. And I only said I didn't support it because I loved him with Jamal. That's just my bias. And I established that already. So that is what it is. But nevertheless, let's talk about the pros and cons to ageism because I feel like there are some pros and cons. For me, I would say pros are essentially learning from your partner. Although we may seem like, oh, the person always talking down to us, there's a lot to learn from an older, person in a relationship, but there's also a lot to learn from the younger person in a relationship because they can teach you a lot about what's going on in today's society. They can teach you a lot about, culture and style, all the things, but style that fits you, not trying to be young like me, but style that fits your demographic, but still looks good, So we can learn a lot from the older person. We can learn a lot from the younger person. That's the main pro I can think of right now. Probably older sex. The sex is probably good. I feel like with the older person, they know what they're doing. Usually, I would say at least 8 times out of 10, they know what they're doing. They know how to please you because they've been around a few bodies. So they're like, okay,
Because I was having sex with this man who was twice my age when I was 21. I think he was 42. And so, yeah, as y'all know, if you're new to the show, I'm a top, and so. We would link up and yeah. And it just always gave, he didn't paint, but it always gave like odor. Yeah. And he was pescatarian. So I feel like it has something to do with the fish of it all. And I was just like,
Well, in my opinion, again, we always come from different perspectives. That's why we're here. He gives the top perspective. I give the bottom perspective. For me, the tops I deal with, the older tops, they know what they're doing, okay? They know what they're doing. They know how to give dick, okay? They give dick. Like, they give dick.
You know, okay? To be older to learn how to give.
That's true as well. But they know their way around the body. They know how to, please you properly. They know how to be more, about reciprocity rather than being okay, come sit on my dick and, I'm gonna fuck you and then we're done. That's how a lot of today's generation is. And with them, it's more I'm gonna please you and you can please me while I'm pleasing you because I just want to please you. That kind of thing. And that's what I like. You know what I'm saying? That's what I like. That's what I like.
That's also a version of manipulation. But we'll get into that in
Not really.
Oh, yes, it is.
Not really.
Oh, we'll get into it.
If you're sitting here having sex with someone and you are pleasing them, and you're receiving pleasure from pleasing them, that's not manipulation. Not at all. I think you're thinking of something else.
No.
But yeah, because I feel like you did that recently with somebody, no?
Who? Who did I do that with?
Oh, okay. But anyway, let me not spill his tea. Anyway,
I don't have to coerce, manipulate, or do anything.
That's not coercion.
I mean, I'm just saying I don't have to do any of things.
Okay. But yeah, cons is pretty much everything else in my opinion. It's the fact that the older person may feel like they own you, they look after you in like a dictatorship way, and just always judging you for doing things that you like are going to do at your age, depending on what age you are, being younger. It's like you're going to grow up and you're going to go through many different things. You're going to slowly mature and get to the point where, okay, now you're learning more lessons. Now you're learning like this is going to happen. This is going to happen. It happens. That's life. What do you feel?
I mean, some of the pros is money. Okay.
That part too. Hello. Financial stability.
Love me some financial stability. Okay. We love trips. Okay. Some cons are really just like mindsets and mentalities. Conversation topics,
relatability,
interests, fashion sense, because a lot of people, also me being a top, I am very much so flowing in and out of like my feminine and masculine energy. I am a gender bender, so I'm not always going to want to wear what is considered to be male clothing. So, there's that. Yeah, and then also, just like, not that this is a real con if you really, but it is if you care about that sort of thing, like the looks that you get from like society and being in public when it is like obvious that, you two have a significant like age difference, and just things like that. But do you feel we'll ever be able to like bridge the age gap in the Black queer community?
I feel like maybe. Even now, like us, Healthy Him, focus on Black MSM, 18 to 39. It's hard to get all of us in one group. Like if we have, if we have one group that's like 18 to like 25, then we may have the 25 to 35, and then like the 35 up to like at least 39 or 40. They are going to feel different than how the 18 and so group feels, because it's going to be different, going on. So we try to have separate groups, or we try to like keep them separated. And it's kind of like, why do we have to do that? But at the same time, I get it, because we have different experiences, different outlooks, and different like, viewpoints of how we see life, how we have experienced life, and what we've been through, essentially. So that's that on that. I feel like we can do it, but it's probably gonna take some time, and it's always gonna be like, oh, you're younger, oh, you're older, oh, people don't understand me, like you're old gay, you don't know what we go through now. And then the older ones are like, well, I've been through what you've been through, you didn't. I feel like I'm gonna be that person. I'm not gonna lie. Like older people, I look up to. Older gays, as soon as I see older gays, I smile so hard, y'all. I'll be like, I love this. Like Billy Porter, I call him my father, because like I love him so much. Although I do not like that he's in a interracial relationship or marriage, I do love him still. And I look up to him. I'm like, oh my gosh. Anyway, I love him. Okay. I love what he stands for. Not his relationship, but what he stands for and who he is. But when I see like younger baby gays, I'm like, oh, that's so cute. I remember those days. Oh, lights out. But anyway, this is so ghetto. I don't like that. Bring it back. Thank you. But without further ado, what do you feel?
I feel like we will be able to bridge the gap. I feel like it's going to be when we are in our like 40s and 50s, because we will be raising the newer generation. I feel like if this generation is getting the mental health and the things, and we have the resources that we need to, work through some of our biases, conscious and unconscious. And so I do feel like we will be able to bridge the gap. Some advice I would give to somebody who is looking to date someone older or younger is like, before you go even into dating, like really like check in with yourself, check in with what you like, what you don't like, and don't conform to what they're telling you. Always make your own decisions.
Yes, I would say, again, as I always tell y'all, be authentic to yourself. Make sure this person is not trying to have dictatorship over you. If they're older, make sure they're not trying to control you or any type of way, and you genuinely like them for them. And hopefully they're not older than your parents, but if they are, do your thing. And if they are younger than you, please don't try to take control of them and tell them what to do, because they need to grow and to blossom to who they want to be. Okay. And if you really want them romantically, you're going to let them do that while being with you in the best ways possible, in the positive ways possible.
If you can. And if you can't, then that just means you're not meant to be with that person.
And that's that on that. Without further ado, this is your fave out here duo, chocolate duo, saying bye.